up, you guys? So since last week was Mental Health Awareness Week, I thought it would only be fair if I told you guys what I used to deal with and how I got over all of my mental health issues, my anxiety, whatever you would classify it as. And I just wanted to tell you guys about it because I don't think I've ever made a video about how I feel throughout the day, or Zach Deck created a video similar to this and I was inspired to tell my story from my perspective and what I went through, and I hope you guys can enjoy it, or well, I hope you guys don't enjoy it, that'd be so weird. Alright, let's talk about my story. So I think we could trace this back to when I was in kindergarten or pre-K and when I was just starting out school basically. So right from the get-go, I never wanted to go to school and the teacher would literally have to pry me from my mom's arms to get me to go to class because I wouldn't, and I would throw temper tantrums, and yeah. So that was in pre-K and kindergarten. Don't really remember much about that, but it happened. So let's fast forward to 7th grade when middle school was really just beginning. So 7th grade, you're just starting middle school basically, it's your second year. During this year, I had extremely long hair, I just started to wear jeans, and I was about 250 pounds, give or take. But you know, 7th grade is when I really started to just hate school and everything and everyone. Typical teenager, but you know, whatever. Let's continue. But 7th grade was the year when I started to throw up basically every day before school, and it just wasn't a fun time for the whole year. So even though I don't really remember much of 8th, 9th, 10th grade because they really just all blended together for some reason, all I remember is that I still hated school, hated everyone, and never wanted to leave the house, just stay inside, internet, and making videos online, I guess. So that brings us to present day. I'm a junior in high school and I'm about to finish this year, and next year I'm gonna be a senior in high school, graduating. Going off to that big scary world that those adults always tell us about, but that's besides the point. So in retrospect, junior year has sucked. In the nicest way possible, it sucked. Huge balls. Awful. We could start out from the beginning of the year when I skipped class for about a month and a half. So during that month and a half time period, I would either go to the guidance office, the nurse to just lay down and pass the time, or I would stay in the bathroom for about 4 hours, just sit there throwing up and just sitting there all day because I did not want to be in class whatsoever. And then all of that class skipping time began to catch up with me, and my grades reflected that. I was failing a majority of my classes, but people began to find out that I was cutting class, and everything caught up at once, and I started to have meetings with counselors and teachers and everything above that. And honestly, the counselors helped me out so much. I go to see him almost every day. Now, what was going through my head this whole time was, I'll be fine after high school, I'll never need to know any of this stuff, and I'll be fine. Everything will be a-okay. I would constantly tell myself that school is a waste of time and I could be doing something completely better with my life, such as doing YouTube or filmmaking or photography, concert photography. I could be doing that, other than being in school. As soon as I woke up and walked through that door to the bathroom to shower, I immediately thought to myself, great, can't wait to be stuck inside of a building for 8.5 hours all day and just wasting away my life. And that is what brought me sick to my stomach every day, constantly puking probably about 5 times every day before 7:30 in the morning. Graphic, I know, but it's the truth, deal with it. What was going through my head was causing me all of this discomfort and the vomiting and the headaches. They just wouldn't go away, and I thought I had no control over it. So after that whole fiasco of meeting with counselors and everyone, I began to do a little bit better, and I would start going to classes again. My grades started to improve. It just stayed the same for a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong, I would still have those moments where I would just freak out and I would just leave class completely and go hide or something. But I think those days for now are over, and I'm happy that they're over because it wasn't fun hanging out in a disgusting bathroom for hours on end just watching Drew Monson or listening to music or something. Another way that I helped this was I began to start talking to friends. My friend Alex's Lens. I talked to him almost every day and he walked me through how to just calm down, gave me breathing exercises, and it was a huge help. So that brings us to present day, and I think I'm doing alright. I haven't thrown up in a while, and I go to all my classes, and my grades are okay now. But if there's a few things I could tell you guys, if you're going through the same thing as I was, I don't know if you are, but if you are, Here's some tips. What I would do if I was feeling stressed out in class, I would take my chapstick, I have an EOS chapstick right here, and I would squeeze that little shit as hard as I could, and it would release some of the stress, release all the energy into this little chapstick, and that helped me a lot. Another thing was drawing and writing in class when I was feeling stressed. You have no idea how many SpongeBobs and Planktons are in my notebook that should be filled with notes, but instead they're filled with cartoon drawings and writing and stuff. Breathing, I would breathe in for, I know it's a little intense, but I would breathe in for 7 seconds and then exhale for 7 seconds. And that's like a universal breathing technique used by a lot of people, and it might help you. So basically that's everything I did, and if none of those work, I would leave class. But that's like worst of the worst situations. I try not to do that anymore, but if I have to, I will. And it's no big deal. And if you're feeling stressed, just ask your teacher to take a walk or something, and I'm sure they'll let you. And yeah. But if you would like an entire video on tips on how to cure anxiety or all of that stuff, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below telling me that you want it. So that is basically my mental health story and where I am right now, how I'm feeling, and what I went through. And if you guys can relate to this, let me know in the comments below, or DM me, message me on Tumblr. I'm always on all that stuff, and all of the links are down in the description below. But until then, I will see you guys next week with a brand new video, and it'll be a lot more positive, I promise. But until then, see you guys later.